शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय चारुचंद्रावतंसं त्रिनेत्रं सदाशिवाय नमः ध्यानं समर्पयामि 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 मुखयाचमनीयं समर्पयामि स्नानं समर्पयामि सदाशिवाय नमः पयो औषधीशो पयो दिव्यन्तरिक्षे पयोधाः पयस्वती प्रदिशा सन्तु मह्यं नमः ओम नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतो तेषवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यां ते नमः या तेषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूव ते धनुः शिवाशरव्या या तवतया नो रुद्रमृदय या ते रुद्रशिवा तनूर्घोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवा शन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभ्यचाकशीः यामिषुं गिरिशन्तहस्तर्विभर्षस्तवे शिवां गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगतं शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशा चावधामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगुं सुमना असतम् अध्यवोचदधिवक्तां प्रथमो देव्योऽभिषक अहीगश्च सर्वा आञ्जम्बयन् सर्वा आश्चयातु धान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये चेमागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षु श्रुताः सहस्रशो वैशागुं हेदईमहे असौ यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उतैनं विश्वाभूतानि सदृष्टो मृदयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीढुषे अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्च धन्वनस्तमभयोरात्नियोर्ज्यां याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवो वप अवतत्यधनुस्त्वगुं सहस्राक्षशतेषुधे निशील्यशल्यानामुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विद्यं धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उतान् अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः या ते हेतिर्मेढुष्टमहस्ते बभूवते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्तमयक्ष्मया परिभुज नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नातथाय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मा वृणक्तु विश्वतः अथो य इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निधेहितं शम्भवे नमः ओम नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालाग्निकालाय कालग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। नमो हिरण्यवाहवे सेनान्ये दिशां च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्जराय त्विषीमते पथीनां पतये नमो नमो बभ्रुषाय विव्याधिनेन्नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्यै जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तथा विनेक्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्त्याय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्थपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षानां पतये नमो नमः भवस्य हेत्ये जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तथा विनेक्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्त्याय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्थपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षानां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्कृतायौषधीनां पतये नमो नमः उच्चैर्घोषाय कृन्दयते पत्तीनां पतये नमो नमः कृष्णवीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः नमः सहमानाय निव्याधिन आव्याधिनीनां पतये नमो नमः ककुभाय निशङ्किने स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमः निशङ्किन इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते स्थायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेदवे परिचरायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमः श्रिकाविभ्यो जिघ्घागुं सभ्यो मुष्णतां पतये नमो नमो सिमद्भ्यो नक्तञ्चरभ्यः प्रगृन्तानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीषणे गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः इषिमद्भ्यो धन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयच्छद्भ्यो विसृजद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमोऽस्यद्भ्यो विद्यद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वपद्भ्यो जाग्रद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तिष्ठद्भ्यो धावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमः आव्याधिनेभ्यो विविध्यन्तेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगणाभ्यस्त्रयोंहतेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यस्सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्रुभ्यः सङ्ग्रहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तक्षभ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जेष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषुकृभ्यो धन्वकृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यः श्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वभ्यः स्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः सर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च व्युप्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च शतधन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च शिविविष्टाय च नमो मेढुष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृध्वने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशवे चाजिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीभ्याय च नमः ऊर्म्याय चावस्वन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय चापरजाय च नमो मध्यमाय चापगल्भाय च नमो जघन्याय च बुद्धियाय च नमः सौभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय चावसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः स्रवाय च प्रतिस्रवाय च नमः आशुसेनाय चासुरथाय च नमः शूराय चापभिन्नते च नमो वर्मिने च वरूथिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दन्दुभ्याय चाहनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रमृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने चेषुधिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णेशवे चायुधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पथ्याय च नमः काट्याय च नेप्याय च नमः सूद्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च वट्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईध्र्याय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः संगाय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो अन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तेथ्याय च कूल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोत्तरणाय च नमः आतार्याय च लाद्याय च नमः शस्प्याय च फेन्याय च नमस्य कत्याय च प्रवार्याय च नमः हिरण्याय च प्रपथ्याय च नमः किगुंशिलाय च क्षयनाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्ठ्याय च गृह्याय च नमस्तल्प्याय च गेह्याय च नमः काट्याय च गह्वरेष्ठाय च नमो हृदयाय च निवेश्याय च नमः पागुंसव्याय च रजस्याय च नमो नमः शुष्क्याय च हृद्याय च नमो लोप्याय चोलप्याय च नमः उर्व्याय च सूर्म्याय च नमः पर्ण्याय च पर्णशद्याय च नमो पगुरमानाय च भिघ्नते च नमः आखिदते च प्रखिदते च नमो किरिकेभ्यो देवानागुं हृदयेभ्यो नमो विक्षीणकेभ्यो नमो विचिन्वत्केभ्यो नमः आनिर्हतेभ्यो नमः आमीवत्केभ्यः द्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्रन्नीललोहित येषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनामाभेर्मा रोमो येषां किञ्चनाममत् या ते रुद्रशिवा तनु शिवा विश्वाः भेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी तया नो मृतजीवसे इमागुं रुद्राय तपसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्वीराय पभरामहे मथिं यथा नः समसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरं मृदानो रुद्रोतनो मयस्कृधि क्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधीमते यच्छञ्च योश्च मरुराय चे पिता तदस्यामत्तपरुद्रप्रणीतो मानो महान्तमुतमानो अर्भकं मान उक्षन्तमुतमान उक्षितं मानो वधीः पितरं मोतमातरं प्रियामानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीरिषः मानस्तो केतनये मान आयषि मानो गोषो मानो अश्वेश्वरीरिषः वीरान्मानो रुद्रभामितो वधीर्हमिष्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते आरात्ते गोघ्न उत पूरुषग्ने क्षयद्वीराय सुं नमस्मे ते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अधि च देव ब्रूह्यदा च नः शर्म यच्च दिबर्हाः सुहीश्रुतं गर्तसदं युवानं मृगण् भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रं मृदा चरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मिन्निव पन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्विनक्तु परित्वैषस्य दुर्मतिरघायोः अवस्थिरामगवद्भ्यस्तु नश्वमीढुस्तोकायतनयाय मृदय मीढुष्टमशिवतमा शिवो नः समना भव परमे वृक्ष आयुधन्निधाय कृत्तिं वसान आचर पिनाकं बिभ्रदागहिं विकरितविलोहित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः विष्णु यास्ते सहस्रगुं हेतयोन्यमस्मिन्निव पन्तु ताः सहस्राणि सहस्रदा बाहुवोस्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो भगवः पराचीना मुखाकृधि सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्या आं तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि अस्मिन् महत्यर्णवे एन्तरिक्षे भवा अधि नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठा सर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठादिपगुं रुद्रा उपसृताः ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासः कपर्दिनः ये अन्येषु विद्यन्ति पात्रेषु विपतो जनान् ये पथां पथिरक्षय ऐलभृताय व्युतः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति श्रकावन्तो निषङ्गिनः ये तावन्तश्च भूयागुंसश्च दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्यां ये एन्तरिक्षे ये दिवि येषामन्नं वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचीर्दश दक्षिणादश प्रतीचीर्दशोदीचीर्दशोर्ध्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृदयन्तु ते यं द्विष्मो यश्च नो द्वेषितं वोजम्भे दधामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नो यो अप्सु यो ओषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवना बिभेष तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु तमुष्टु हि यस्सुषुषु धन्वा यो विश्वस्य क्षयति भेषजस्य यक्षा आमहे सो ओ मनसाय रुद्रं नमो ओभेद्देवमसुरं दुपस्य अयं मे हस्तो भगवान् अयं मे भगवत्तरः अयं मे विश्वभे एषजो युगं शिवाभिमर्शनः ये ते सहस्रमयुतं पाशा मृत्योर्मर्त्याय हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वान् वयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि प्राणानां ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्नेना आप्यायस्व नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि सदाशिवोम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम् निधनपतान्तकाय नमः ऊर्ध्वाय नमः ऊर्ध्वलिङ्गाय नमः हिरण्याय नमः हिरण्यलिङ्गाय नमः सुवर्णलिङ्गाय नमः ज्वलाय नमः ज्वललिङ्गाय नमः आत्माय नमः आत्मलिङ्गाय नमः परमाय नमः परमलिङ्गाय नमः एतत्सोमस्य सूर्यस्य ॐ निधनपतये नमः निधनपतान्तकाय नमः ऊर्ध्वाय नमः ऊर्ध्वलिङ्गाय नमः हिरण्याय नमः हिरण्यलिङ्गाय नमः सुवर्णाय नमः सुवर्णलिङ्गाय नमः दिव्याय नमः दिव्यलिङ्गाय नमः भवाय नमः भवलिङ्गाय नमः शर्वाय नमः सर्वलिङ्गाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवलिङ्गाय नमः ज्वलाय शिवलिङ्गाय नमः ज्वलाय नमः ज्वललिङ्गाय नमः आत्माय नमः आत्मलिङ्गाय नमः परमाय नमः परमलिङ्गाय नमः एतत्सोमस्य सूर्यस्य सर्वलिङ्गस्थापयति पानिमन्त्रं पवित्रं सद्यो जातं प्रपद्यामि सद्यो जाताय वै नमो नमः भवे भवे नाति भवे भवस्व मां भवोद्भवाय नमः वामदेवाय नमो ज्येष्ठाय नमः श्रेष्ठाय नमो रुद्राय नमः कालाय नमः कलविकर्णाय नमो बलविकर्णाय नमो बलाय नमो बलप्रमथनाय नमः सर्वभूतदमनाय नमो मनोन्मनाय नमः अघोरेभ्योऽथ घोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यो नमस्तेऽस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् ईशान सर्वविद्यानामीश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपते ब्रह्मणोऽधिपते ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवोम् ॐ नमो हिरण्यवाहवे हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अम्बिकाय पतये उमापतये पशुपतये नमो नमः ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
जग में मिलता मुक्ति द्वारा। महादेव पर ब्रह्म विधाता, महादेव पर ब्रह्म विधाता, हरि शरण तिहारी। जय बोला बंधारी शिवार, जय बोला बंधारी, जय बोला बंधारी शिवार, जय बोला बंधारी। जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, सब जग के हितकारी। जय बोला बंधारी शिवार, जय बोला बंधारी, जय बोला बंधारी शिवार, जय बोला बंधारी, जय बोला बंधारी, जय बोला बंधारी।
समय कहे के तारा जब बोले, जल तल नभे में मधुर से गोले। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। समय कहे के तारा जब बोले, जल तल नभे में मधुर से गोले। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। जग के दुख तापर मनवा, जब तुझको तर पाए। मोह माया के जूते बंधन, जब तुझको भरमाए। जब नाम किसे होले होले। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। जप तप में ही सच्चा सुख है, क्या लेना चल बल से। पतित पावन नाम है उसका, उसके नाम की जल से। जीवन की शररिया डोले। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। कर्म ही सच्चा ज्ञान योग है, कर्म ही कर जीवन में। कर ले कर्म की उत्तम कीर्ति,
शिव शंकर नटराजा मैं तो जन्म जन्म का दास तेरा। हे शिव शंकर नटराजा मैं तो जन्म जन्म का दास तेरा। मैं तो जन्म जन्म का दास तेरा। निश दिन करता मैं नाम जपो तेरा। शिव 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 गूंजत मन मेरा। शिव 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 गूंजत मन मेरा। तुम हो मेरे प्रभु तुम ही कृपालु। तुम हो मेरे प्रभु तुम ही कृपालु। करु समर्पण दीन दयालु। हे शिव शंकर नटराजा मैं तो जन्म जन्म का दास तेरा। मैं तो जन्म जन्म का दास तेरा। तेरी जटा से बहती पवित्रता। तीन लोक के तुम हो दाता। तीन लोक के तुम हो दाता। डमरू बजाया तमस बगाया। डमरू बजाया तमस बगाया। जड़ चेतन को तुमने जगाया। हे शिव शंकर नटराजा मैं तो जन्म जन्म का दास तेरा। हे शिव शंकर नटराजा मैं तो जन्म जन्म का दास तेरा। 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 हे शिव शंकर भोले शंकर दुख को दूर करो। हे शंकर कैलाशपति तुम हमरे कष्ट हरो। हे शिव शंकर भोले शंकर दुख को दूर करो। हे शंकर कैलाशपति तुम हमरे कष्ट हरो। हे शिव शंकर हे प्रलयंकर स्वीकार करो तुम वंदना। हे शिव शंकर हे प्रलयंकर स्वीकार करो करो। हे शंकर कैलाशपति तुम हमरे कष्ट हरो। हे शिव शंकर भोले शंकर सुख को दूर करो। हे शंकर कैलाशपति तुम हमरे कष्ट हरो। हे शिव शंकर हे प्रलयंकर स्वीकार करो तुम वंदना। हे शिव शंकर हे प्रलयंकर स्वीकार करो तुम वंदना। स्वीकार करो तुम वंदना। स्वीकार करो तुम वंदना।
बोले उमापति महादेव की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्मांगरागाय महेश्वराय। नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्मांगरागाय महेश्वराय। नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगंबराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय। तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। मंदाकिनी सलिलचंदन चर्चिताय नंदीश्वर प्रमथनाथ महेश्वराय। मंदार पुष्प बहुपुष्प सुपूजिताय तस्मै मकाराय नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। शिवाय गौरी वदनार वृंद सूर्याय दक्ष द्वारनाशकाय श्रीनीलकंठाय वृषध्वजाय तस्मै शिकाराय नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। वशिष्ठ कुंभोद्भव गौतमार्य मुनीन्द्र देवा चित्तशेखराय चंद्रार्क वैश्वानर लोचनाय तस्मै वकाराय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
यक्षस्वरूपाय जटाधराय पिनाकहस्ताय सनातनाय दिव्याय देवाय दिगम्बराय तस्मै यकाराय नमः शिवाय 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 नमः पञ्चाक्षरमिदं पुण्यं यापते शिवसन्निधौ शिवलोकमवाप्नोति शिवेन सह मोदते ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ
नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ॐ
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय
रामेश्वरा शिव रामेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
रामेश्वरा शिव रामेश्वरा हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय
ओ रामेश्वरा शिव रामेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
रामेश्वरा शिव रामेश्वरा हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ॐ
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय
योगेश्वरा शिव योगेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
योगेश्वरा शिव योगेश्वरा हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय
ओ योगेश्वरा शिव योगेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
योगेश्वरा शिव योगेश्वरा हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ॐ
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय
ॐ शिवाय हरि ॐ शिवाय ॐ शिवाय हरि ॐ शिवाय
ॐ शिवाय हरि ॐ शिवाय ॐ शिवाय हरि ॐ शिवाय
ॐ शिवाय हरि ॐ शिवाय ॐ शिवाय हरि ॐ शिवाय
ॐ शिवाय हरि ॐ शिवाय ॐ
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Om
Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Go over there. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah
Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya,
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Om
Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Hari
Om Shivaya.
Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Tillam Trigunaakaram Dunetam Jatriyayudham Trijannmapapasambharam Ekabilvam Shivarpanam Atma. This evening, welcome all of you to our temple and to our session of Shraavan Mass Puja. Today we see the beautiful darshan of Bhagwan Ram. Very simple, the Lord Ram Bhagwan offering Abhishekam to Bhagwan Shivji. And if you can't see, because you're probably far away, the Lord is actually offering water to Shivji. It's a very beautiful relationship between Ramji and Bhagwan Shivji. Both of them are Bhagwan, but yet you see this kind of love between them. This morning I spoke in the service here. We didn't go live, but I spoke about something. I said that if we can treat each other the way we treat God, then earth will become a heaven. If we can treat each other the way we treat God, earth will become a heaven. The respect, the love, the sweet things we tell God, the sincerity, at least when we have in front of Him. You see this? Ramji Bhagwan honoring Shivji. We don't have to agree with everybody, but at least what we can do is be respectful at all times. Today, let us give thanks to Bhagwan Shivji and ask that his blessings will be with all of you. Today, we have our Shrotas, Bhaji Vishal and his family. A few days ago, it was Malini's birthday. We ask Bhagwan Shivji's blessings on her and the entire family for long life, health, and growth. Om Atma Tvam Girijamati Sahachara Prana Shariram Griha Pujate Vishayopabhogarchana Nidra Samadhistati Sanchar Padayo Pradakshan Vidhi Stotrani Sarva Gira Yadyat Karma Karo Tattadakhilam Shambho Tavaradhanam Karacharana Kritam Vakayajam Karmajam Sravananayana Jamva Manasamva Paradham Vihitam Vihitam Va Sarvame Takshamasva Jai Jai Karunabhe Shri Mahadeva Shambho Jai Jai Karunabhe Shri Mahadeva Shambho Har Har Mahadeva Har Har Mahadeva Mahadev Shambho Mahadev Shambho Mahadev Shambho Mahadev Shambho बोले शंकर भगवान की रामेश्वर भगवान की भवानी शंकर भगवान की नर्मदेश्वर भगवान की नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो come put your flower over here. Yeah, put it anywhere. Everybody, please be seated. It's very beautiful. बोले शंकर भगवान की जय। शिव शंभो महादेवा, शिव शंभो महादेवा, शिव शंभो महादेवा, शिव शंभो महादेवा, शिव शंभो महादेवा,
शिव शंभो महादेवा,
शिव शंभो महादेवा, शिव शंभो महादेवा,
शिव शंभो महादेवा, शिव शंभो महादेवा,
गंगाधरा शिव गंगाधरा,
गंगाधरा शिव गंगाधरा,
गंगाधरा शिव गंगाधरा, गंगाधरा
गंगाधरा शिव गंगाधरा
गौरी प्रिया शंकरा गौरी प्रिया शंकरा शिव शंभो महादेवा शिव शंभो महादेवा
शंभो महादेवा शिव शंभो महादेवा
डमरू बजा शिव डमरू बजा
डमरू बजा शिव डमरू बजा
ओ डमरू बजा शिव डमरू बजा
डमरू बजा शिव डमरू बजा
भोले शिवा शंकरा भोले शिवा शंकरा शिव शंभो महादेवा शिव शंभो महादेवा शिव शंभो महादेवा
शिव शंभो महादेवा
हर भोलेनाथ शंभो हर गौरीनाथ शंभो हर
भोलेनाथ शंभो हरे गौरीनाथ शंभो
हर भोलेनाथ शंभो हर गौरीनाथ शंभो हर भोलेनाथ
शंभो हरे गौरीनाथ शंभो
शिव शंभो महादेवा शिव शंभो महादेवा शिव शंभो
महादेवा शिव शंभो महादेवा
शिव शंभो महादेवा शिव
शंभो महादेवा
ओ शिव शंभो महादेवा शिव
शंभो महादेवा
प्रेम से बोलो शंकर भगवान की जय ओम श्री ताम्रपर्णी जलराशि योगे निवद्य सेतुं निशिबिल्वपत्रे श्रीरामचन्द्रेण समर्पितं तं रामेश्वराख्यं सततं नमामि तं रामेश्वराख्यं सततं नमामि बोले शंकर भगवान की जय जय सीताराम everybody जय सीताराम everybody in the temple today all right welcome to our satsang evening satsang this is every evening we've been doing this and we finish of course the Shivji satsang on the 29th of August and on the 30th of August we start our Srimad Bhagavad Katha. So welcome to our satsang today. Vishal and his children, his family are sitting for puja and they're the Shrotas and they're celebrating Malini's birthday, which was on August 16th. Happy belated birthday to you, Malini, and Bhagwan's blessings to you always. Please give her a big round of applause. I'm sure many of you have come to celebrate with her. As I can see, a few family members are here and friends as well. It's always good to show love and support for our close ones and our dear ones. Vishal and his kids have found home with us for a while, and they are committed here. They're volunteers here. Children whenever they're here, they work pretty hard for the temple because, Sanatan Dharma by itself, it needs support and help. And we are doing our best in this temple and all the temples as well to propagate our culture. And I want to wish you all the best, Malini, as you celebrate your birthday. As I always say, I'm always very touched when young people especially can take time to give thanks to God on days like this. There'll be many things people will have, whatever form of celebration we choose to have, that's your choice. I don't know. But I think that if we can take a moment to reflect on God a little bit. This morning at the temple, I spoke, it was a young crowd. So I spoke about the importance of God in a young person's life. Because Hindus in general, I don't know about the other faith, but Hindus in general think that Bhagwan, we have to accept Bhagwan when we get old. You talk to many young kids or even some young adults. You talk to them about puja, about dharma, about culture. I said that's for mother and father. They're looking after that, right? The prayerful aspect of life. Hinduism is not an old age home, right? It's not an old age home for old people. It's a dharma that is very vibrant for youths, for children, for the grown, for the old, for everybody. It's even for the dead, right? Because we don't pray to the dead, but we remember them in our culture as well. So it's important that we understand this beautiful culture is for everybody. And so what we have to do is mold. We have to continue to mold the younger generation and allow them to understand the beauty of our dharma, the wonderful feeling we will get when we serve God. Now, I don't know. This feeling is all I know, and this is what I can share with people, right? I don't know the feeling. I can't tell you what people do is bad or good, whatever it is. I can only tell you that this feeling of serving, this feeling of losing yourself with the Creator, this feeling is not a Sunday feeling or a Monday feeling, this happiness. It's an everyday thing. You feel a sense of happiness and bliss every single day, right? A few weeks ago, I think we can talk about this, it was Caribana. So obviously a lot of our young West Indian folks, they involve in Caribana. I've never gone to one. I've been living here in this country for 25 years. So the kids will come and say, Panaji or Gurji, whatever, have you ever gone one? And they'll tell me their experiences. And I will laugh about it because, everybody have to have some life. But when they tell me what's happening, and you have to talk about it. So when they tell me what's happening, you wear a costume, you go and you dance, and there's floats and everything like that. I say, wow, do you have fun? I say, yes. They say, yeah, there's lots of fun. I say, great. How long does it last? I say, Guruji, it just lasts for the day, we enjoy ourselves, and there is a float, and we wear costume, and we're happy, and we're jumping or dancing. Somebody say, how long does that last for? They say a day. And they're very happy. They're lots of my, godchildren and youths and things. And as I always tell you, I'm very open-minded about these things because you have to be. And they say, how come you never go? I say, well, I never gone because I'm always very busy. Yeah, right. But here is my experience. When you tell me there is float, there is decor, you wear costume, and you have a lot of emblems and things like that. I experience that every day. You only experience it on August long weekend, but I experience it every day. When your Saturday and Sunday is done there, your fun is done, I still continue my fun every day. I have floats. You're not short of decoration there. Look at the way you think what they're wearing is cheap. They don't wear sequin stuff, right? They wear lehenga and they wear all kinds of things. Look at their necklaces, all imported. I mean, look at the decor, the roses and the petals and water coming out of the lota. You don't see that anywhere else. So my enjoyment is not a weekend, it's every single day. And the good thing is that it never runs out, right, when the weekend is over. Everybody find happiness. However you find happiness, you find happiness. I've always said that. As long as in sad times, you can turn back to that path that you're following and find comfort. And find comfort. As long as you can find comfort. Now, here's the trick. Right? Panaji, I find comfort, doing drugs or doing alcohol or whatever it is. Well, that's fine if you do that. But when sadness steps in your life and you go back to that path to find comfort, you will be drowned and you'll be destroyed in it. This here is the only path that will bring comfort to you, that is very peaceful, very soothing. Again, I can only tell you about my experience. It's yours to experience if you so choose to. And you've chosen to, because this evening you're here to witness this beautiful puja and to wish Malini a happy birthday. So we'll talk a little bit about Ram Bhagwan's worship to Lord Shiva this evening. We haven't done Rameshwar Lingam. Rameshwar Lingam is a particular decor, but we have done that many times already, Rameshwar decor. But today we wanted to show a very simple depiction of Lord Rama's love for Shivji. And all he does, he has a lota of water and he's pouring it on the head of Shiva. If you can't see it, you can probably hear it. Can you hear the water flowing from the back? Haro, can you hear? It's very therapeutic. Take away your stress. No? The West is telling us today you have to have a fountain in your home. We know that from a long time. The flow of water helps your mind to have a continuous flow, not idle. And this is the flow we see here today. A very simple but beautiful depiction of Rama's love for Bhagwan Shivji. In Ramanan Sagar form of Ramayana, not Adi Purush. Everybody see Adi Purush? You haven't seen Adi Purush? It's now on Netflix. It's a Bollywood depiction of what they call Ramayana. It is a disgrace to that depiction of Ramayana. Very, very embarrassing. But in Ramanan Sagar's version of Ramayana, which is a long ago Ramayana, it's a TV series. It's very long and drawn out, and you have to get a towel when you're watching it because I cry steady. It's it's pretty deep, and emotional, and the long ago stuff, but it's very beautiful. And when he did the Ramanan Sagar version of the Ramcharitmanas, in that version, when Ram Bhagwan was doing prayer to Shivji, they composed a very, very beautiful song. Damarupani, Shulapani, He Natarajan, Namo Namo. You can look it up on YouTube if you want, but it's a very beautiful song. I thought we start with that song today as Ram Bhagwan's devotion, as his offering to Shivji Bhagwan. Bole Shankar Bhagwan ki Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om शिवाय। डमरू पानी शूल पानी हे नटराजन नमो 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 डमरू पानी शूल पानी हे नटराजन नमो 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 शीश गंगा भस्म अंगा करते धारण नमो 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 नमो। तुम आदि देव अनादि हो, तुम अंतहीन अनंत हो। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। तुम आदि देव अनादि हो, तुम अंतहीन अनंत हो। श्रीमंत हो भगवंत हो, हे नाथ गिरिजाकंत हो। शशि ललाट तन विराट, हे त्रिलोचन नमो 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 नमो। डमरू पानी शूल पानी हे नटराजन नमो 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 नमो। निस्सार इस संसार में शिव नाम केवल सार है। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। निस्सार इस संसार में शिव नाम केवल सार है। शिव शक्ति है, शिव भक्ति है, शिव मुक्ति का आधार है। रोम रोम ओम ओम हे अघनाशन नमो 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 नमो। डमरू पानी शूल पानी हे नटराजन नमो 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 नमो। शीश गंगा भस्म अंगा करते धारण नमो 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 नमो। डमरू पानी शूल पानी हे नटराजन नमो 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 नमो। Bhagwan Ram, this is a beautiful song from Ramanand Sagar's Ramayana, which is a little old-fashioned but very beautiful indeed. It's a series of the Ramayana. Today I want to tell you a little bit about this form of Rameshwar. So those of you, I think, who come regular to the temple, you probably know the story, but of course, if you are not regular or haven't familiarized yourself, I'll go through a little summary. There are 12 Jyotirlingams. Jyotirlingams mean 12 lingams in the world, in India to be specific, that have been consecrated by God Himself. Our lingam here has been consecrated. Consecrated means life put into it by priests, by Vedic priests. So we carved the base from India and brought it, and the top, the Shivji, that was not carved, by the way, that is naturally forming. That is called a Narmadeshwar lingam. You know when you go to the market and you buy watermelon, like you choose watermelon size and you knock it and so on, that is how you choose a lingam when you go to Narmada river. The river was blessed with that ashirvad, with that opportunity to give birth to naturally formed lingam. Imagine that. So you go there just like you buy watermelon, you pick which lingam you want and so on. So this lingam, the top portion is called Shiva lingam, and that is naturally forming. That part does not require consecration. Narmadeshwar lingam is Bhagwan himself. A householder can take it and do puja in it, no problem. But because it sits on a yoni, a base, which is Ma Parvati, full consecration. Consecration means bringing life energy of God into it. And of course, ours have gone through so many marathons of consecration. So there are 12 Jyotirlingams which were consecrated by God. Saurastre Somanatham cha Sri Saile Mallikarjunam Ujjayenyam Mahakalam Omkaram Maleshwaram Paralyam Vaidyanatham cha Dakinyam Bhima Shankaram Setu Bandhetu Ramesham Nagesham Darukavane Varanasyam tu Vishwesham Trambakam Gautami Tate Himalaye tu Kedaram Grishmecham cha Shivalaye. So in that mantra, the first part, Saurastre, talk about the place of the lingam, Somanatham cha. The first one is in Saurastre, which is Somanatha Bhagavan. That's in Gujarat. And so it goes on and on. This one here, number 7, is in a place called Rameshwar or Ram Setu. It is in the southernmost tip of India, if you look on the map. So it's there. How did this lingam come about? Once in the battle between Ram Bhagwan and Shraavan, in the southern part of India, there is separating, of course, Lanka or Sri Lanka and India, that big river. So the ocean was not stabilizing. Ram Bhagwan had wanted to cross the ocean to go and begin the battle. So what does Ram Bhagwan did? He took out one of his arrow and he drew it like this. And he says, I'm going to dry up this whole ocean right now. If you don't, and when he said that, I'm going to dry this ocean up with one arrow. Imagine how powerful the Lord is. The ocean god came up and the ocean says, Prabhu Ram, your ancestors have always protected me. Varun Dev came up and says, your ancestors have always protected me. Could you imagine what will happen if you dry out this entire place? Where will the fish live? Right? How would transportation happen? When all of us do puja, the Panditji will do Kalash puja. He will have a coconut on top of the Kalash, the 5 leaves, and then you have the Kalash at the bottom. What is the meaning of that? Right? The Kalash with the water inside and the coconut coming up, that is Lord Varun. Varun Dev is the Lord of the oceans. As Hindus, we pray every day because there's a presence of water. It's a very long thing. The presence of water is the presence of life. But we pray that the ocean never overflows. Because if the ocean overflows, what will happen to this world? Right? The 5 leaves represent the 5 elements. It's called Pancha Palavan. Technically, those 5 leaves are from 5 different trees, Panchapalvan, Bargat leaf, mango leaf, and so on. That's not what you did. Panchapalvan, when we do that puja, you're praying to the elements, you're praying to the ocean, you're praying to the creation itself, and you're giving gratitude for the blessings of life. That's the meaning of Varun Puja. And why do we do that? Without the oceans, right? What will happen in this world? So many things happen because of the ocean. So the ocean god came up and says, Ram, don't dry me out. I will stabilize. I will support whatever mission you're going to do, to perform. And when the ocean god said that, what happened? Jamavant, who is the leader of the army, Jamavant was a big bear. The Lord he did not have human beings. Ram Bhagwan, Lord Ram, did not have human beings as his followers. The Lord was so powerful, he was convincing, he was able to convince bears and monkeys. So Jamavant, the leader of all of them, says with folded hands, Bhagwan, why do you need to build a bridge? Because Sunahu Bhanu Kulaketu Jamavant Karajori Kaha Nath Nam Tabasetu Nar Charai Bhavasagar Tarahi. Your name alone, O God, is a bridge. Your name alone is a bridge which we can use to cross this ocean of life. Right? And so what he did, all of them, should it take long? They said what they did, they dispatched all the bears and monkeys all over the place. Then Jamavant sent for 2 brothers. Who were they? Jamavant sent for 2 brothers who were engineers. Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai. Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram,
Jai Jai Ram.
Jamavant bole do bhai. Jamavant bole do bhai. Nalani lai sab katha sunai. Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram,
Jai Jai Ram.
Ram Pratap Sumiri Man Mahi. Ram Pratap Sumiri Man Mahi. Karahu se tu prayas kachu nahi. Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
बोले लिए कपि निकर बहोरी. बोले लिए कपि निकर बहोरी. सकल सुनहु बिनती कछु मोरी. राम, Siya Ram, जय जय राम. बोलो राम, Siya Ram. राम चरण पंकज उर्धर हूँ. राम चरण पंकज उर्धर हूँ. कौतुक एक भालु कपि कर हूँ. राम, Siya Ram, जय जय राम. बोलो राम, Siya Ram, जय जय राम. Siya Ram, jai jai ram. Siya Ram, jai jai ram. Jamavant bole do bhai. Jamavant was like the project manager. By know what a project manager is, right? He's kind of like, he's managing all the resources. There's something to be done. He's the main guy. He's saying, here's what we need. Here's the people we need. Here's how you go and get it. Please bring it all back. And we start assembling it. So he sent everyone. But he needed 2 engineers. Indian engineers. You know, what does the West always are very proud of? The Egyptians are proud of the pyramids. They call that engineering. Right? Mexico as well, pyramids engineering. In the West, they're proud of CN Tower. That's engineering. Right? Twin Towers in the United States, that's engineering. You want to see real engineering? You have to see the Indian engineering. Before they had all these sophisticated machines that they have today. The most, in India and no parts of the world, as a matter of fact, in no part of the world are they making the buildings and the structures that were made in Bangladesh, that were made in India. They don't make that anymore. Even India don't make it anymore, right? Talk about engineering, India is the place for that. Our Hindu Dharma, if you go to the very ancient temples, I was speaking the other day about Brigadeshwar Temple. It was constructed with such, brilliance that when the sun is over that temple, at any point in the day, it never casts a shadow of that temple on the ground. Never. That's the kind of engineering Hindu Dharma has, right? Hindu Dharma has. When our forefathers has already studied astronomy, do you know you can open a book today, a particular book, and I can tell you what time the sun will, not a computer, a book, and I can tell you what time the sun will rise and the sun will set 100 years from now. 100 years from now, I can tell you that because it's called 100-year Patra. Not a computer. 100 years from now, in Toronto, in India, wherever it is, our ancestors, our forefathers were brilliant people. They were just not people in little dhoti and kurta and walking with a little bowl. That's what people think the Hindu saints are. Meditate whole day with a little bowl. They were astronomers. They were engineers. And when they were studying the movements of the planets and can tell you when there will be an eclipse, I can tell you when there will be an eclipse for the next 100 years from a book, not printed by a computer. When they were studying that and predicting all those things already, the West had a big discovery. What was the discovery of the West? We can scratch two stones together and make fire. Right? This is the discovery of the West. Engineering started in India. There were two famous engineers by the name of Nal and Neel. Nal and Neel had a very special power. When they were younger, they used to take all the murtis of the sages and they used to throw it in the water. And the sages got fed up with them. It's like these children are very chulchul. You know what chulchul is? You know what chulchul is? You don't know what chulchul is. Sita, we got to do a better job with the Guyanese teachings to these children. Because chulchul, you can't. I bet the Indian Chahat, you don't know what chulchul is. You don't know. Because it has no meaning. It's not a Hindu word. She would have known she's an Indian. Chulchul means when you just run about and all over the place like this. It's like you wind one little machine and you let it grow and you just bounce up like a buck tap. You know something named buck tap? Buck tap is like a little seed like this, right? You dig it out and you got to carefully dig it out. You have to grate it on the concrete. You can do it with awara. You grate it on the concrete. But I didn't know what awara is. Do you know what awara is? How old are you? 20. I know what awara is. Huh? Kuru. Yeah, kuru and wara. Exactly. You have to take, it's a seed, it's a nut, right? The wara or awara, depends where you come from. You can actually eat it. And after that, you clean it out and you make something called boktap. With kuru, kuru is a little bitter, you don't eat that. You eat it too? Where you come from? Yes, you come, oh, okay. All right. Okay. We don't eat that in Barbies, but all right. Barbies from bitter. The kuru is a big one. It's a bigger nut. So the ants eat it off you. There we go. So we used to grate the nut like this. It's a seed. And then you have to dig it out, or the ants eat it out for you. Inside there is like husk. And then you put in a piece of stick inside. Tight. And then you wrap a stick around like this, wrap a string around like this, and you, and then it will spin like, and then you gotta sit down and enjoy it. You're watching something spinning, and sometimes it's a spin, and you go like this, and then it's something you fall on too. It's called boktap. It's Indian engineering. So chul means that. It's like you spin all over the place. A child. If you're a child and somebody call you chul, please don't take it as a compliment. Oh my God, mommy, he called me chul. It's such a nice name. Don't take it. Gauri, have you ever been called chul? Okay, it's not a compliment. Mira, have you ever been called chul? You don't know? Okay, but if you are, don't take it as a compliment because it is not. It means you're fidgety, you just go on you tumble everything. It's like a hurricane pass through somewhere. Somebody call, oh boy, I call you chul. Anyways, Nal and Neil, when they were little, they were very chul. So they used to take all the sages, murtis and things, and the saints give them a shrap that whatever you touch, it will never sink in the water. It will always float. Right? That was their blessing, or course. So now they became big engineers. They studied and they became engineers. So Jamavant, the project manager, called the two engineers and they said, we need you to build a bridge from India to Sri Lanka. A bridge. Ram Bhagwan is going to fight for the one he loved. The other day I asked, right? The young people say, Panditji, why did he have to, Ravan steal the queen? Why didn't he just settle for someone else? I'm like, wouldn't you want a man like that? Who would fight a battle for the person he loves? Wouldn't you want a husband like that? Who would fight a battle for you? What do you think? Wouldn't you want a guy like that in your life? Who would fight a war for you? Right? Yeah, every girl would want. And it's not about the war. It's about the way he loved her. He was not ready to sacrifice her. He was ready to fight to the last to win her back. And so they start building the bridge. What did they send for? They sent for Bole liye kapinikar bahori sakala sunahu binati kachumori. फिर बानरों को दल को बुला लिया और कहा कि आप सब मेरे कुछ बिनती सुनिए. He said, listen to me very carefully. अपने अपने हृदय में श्री राम के चरण कमलों के घर लीजिए और धर लीजिए और सब रीछ और बानर एक कौतुक खेल कीजिए. He said to everybody, he summoned everybody and he says, everybody, please put Ram in your heart because you're going to do the Lord's work. The first thing you have to do when you're doing God's work is put God in your heart. Put God in your heart. Because if the Lord is not in your heart, your work will reflect the same. Right? If you don't do anything from the heart, whether it's computer work or whiteboard work or whatever it is, if you don't do it with sincerity, it will be reflected. And so what happened? He says, put the Lord in your heart and engage yourself in some work now. What work? Dhavahu marakat birak barutha anahu bitap girin ke juta suni kapi bhalu chale kapi hoha jay raghubir pratap samuha. भयंकर बानरों के झुंड दो जाइए और वृक्षों तथा पर्वतों के डेरे लाइए. He says, go and bring the mountains. Go and bring large trees and mountains and big rocks. They all said, what are we doing with that? We're going to build a bridge. That's how strong they were. They're not going to build this thing with little stones outside. They're going to build a bridge with mountains. Can you imagine how powerful those beings were? When you're serving Bhagwan, you're a powerful being. You're a powerful God. You're a powerful being. They went, he says, go and root out the mountains. Go and bring the hills. Go and root out the trees and bring them. What are they going to use for? They're going to be used for making a bridge. Now there's a story behind this. You know, those mountains and those trees and those hills, they are all living beings. The trees and the mountains were there waiting for the Lord to place his foot on their head, for them to be elevated. They were just not trees and mountains. I tell the volunteers here every day, every day, but ever so often, that when you do something here, you are selected by the divine to do that. It is not a curse, it's a blessing to do that, because it's transforming. It's like going to the gym to physically transform. You're spiritually transforming when you do seva in a temple, right? All of the hills and the trees and the mountains felt happy because they're going to receive the Lord's foot or feet on their head. Ati atanga giripadav leelahi lohi uthai ani dehi nalini lahi rachahi de setu banai. They would root up the tallest trees and hills. They were mere sports. They were toys. They would root them up like they were just toys, and they brought them. And Nal and Neel now started to build the bridge. Saila visar anika pidehi kanduk in lavanil and Delehi. They brought the huge mountains which were handled like play balls. Na? Ramayana says here, banar bare bare parvato ko la la kar dete hai aur Nal Neel उन्हें गेंद की तरह, गेंद means ball, like a cricket ball, गेंद की तरह. You know, the servants, the Nal and Neel, they were handling the mountains like they were a little ball, and they were placing them like this. So powerful they were, so powerful. When Ram Bhagwan saw the bridge being built now, the Hindu rule of life is that whenever we are blessed with something, whenever we gifted with something, or whenever you earn something, whenever you buy a new car, whenever you acquire a home, whenever you open your business, you must never start without taking the blessings from God. Why? Because that is not yours. That home that you're going to live in, that is a space of God. God has given you that. You buy a new car, always bring it to the temple for the Panditji to bless it, or whatever. You open a new business, get some kind of blessing done. You can do that by yourself as well with the guidance of somebody. But we always want first occupant of that place, a car, a home, or your business. The first occupant should be Bhagwan. In the old time, they used to do Griha Pravesh very differently. But Ram Bhagwan, this is the chaupai of the Katha. परम रम्य उत्थर यह धरणी परम रम्य उत्तर यह धरणी महिमा अमित जाई नहीं भरे राम सिया राम जय जय राम करही इहा शंभु थापना करिहौ इहा शंभु थापना मोरे हृदय परम कल्पना राम सिया राम जय जय राम सुन कपि बहुत दूत बताई सुनो कपीस बहु दूत बताई मुनिवर सकल बोली ले आई राम सिया राम
सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम
लिंग थापी विधिवत कर पूजा लिंग थापी विधिवत कर पूजा शिव समान प्रिय मोहिन दूजा राम सिया राम जय जय राम
राम सिया राम जय जय राम
शिवद्रोही मम भगति कहावा शिवद्रोही मम भगति कहावा सो नर सपने मोहि न पावा राम सिया राम
जय जय राम
बोलो राम सिया राम जय जय राम शंकर विमुख भगति चाह मोरी शंकर विमुख भगति चाह मोरी सोनार की मूद मति थोरी राम सिया राम जय जय राम बोलो राम सिया राम जय जय 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 राम Ram Bhagwan saw the bridge. Ram Bhagwan has to observe the rules of our culture, the rules of our dharma. And once again, I always encourage our young people to come on out. Don't depend on the older folks that when you get married, they're going to fix up your mandap and your puja place and all this kind of thing. Come and learn. Come and learn. In the most cases, a young Hindu today, in most cases, is an observation, not a negative comment. In most cases, a young Hindu is a Hindu when they're getting married. That's the time when they have to, get dressed and mehndi and the whole kind of things. But you gotta be a little bit more involved, right? You gotta be a little bit. You're doing something like buy a new house. What are you gonna do? You have to get it blessed. Ram Bhagwan says that this bridge, I cannot cross this bridge unless Paramaramya Uttamya Hadarahi, unless I performed a puja before I go over. And whose puja he's going to do? Kariho iha shambhu tapana more hriday param kalapana. He's going to establish a lingam of Shivji. A lingam like that. He must do the puja of Shivji before he go across. Because Ram Bhagwan is Shivji Bhakta. And he's going to fight another devotee of Shivji, Shraavan. So he needs the confidence of Shiva. Suni kapis bahudut patai munivar sakala boli le ai. On hearing this, the monkey king Sugriv dispatched a number of messengers. But Hanumanji was sent. Hanumanji was sent to bring the lingam. It is said in some writings, not in this book. This is Tulsi Ramayana, but Tulsi Ramayana is not the only book that talks about Ram's story. You all know that, right? It is said in many other books, Hanumanji was chosen, and Hanumanji went to Kashi, what we call Banaras today, or Varanasi. He went to Varanasi and he brought a lingam. Why? Because Varanasi is the capital city of Bhagwan Shivji. Varanasi is the capital city of Shiva. People go there to die because they want to meet Mahadev, right? And so what happened? He took the lingam from Kashi and he took it to Ram Setu. And there, Bhagwan Shivji performed the puja. Bhagwan Ram performed the puja of Lord Shiva. What did he say? Shivadrohi mama bhagati kahava so nar sapne mohi na pava. That anyone who shows enmity to Shivji, they will never even attain him, Ramji, in their dreams. Sometimes we say, oh, I'm Ram Bhakta, I pray to Ram Bhagwan, so I have no need for Shiva, or he wears skulls, or whatever it is. No. This katha here is to show respect. It is to show respect. All of us are great in some way, right? All of us are great in some way. Let's talk about my field of work. I'm a Pandit. So I'm Pandit, you got here Pandit, you got here the Pandit, you got he's a Pandit. You have 10 Pandit assembled in the same places. Naturally what happens is that one of them will feel that he's better than the other, or the other feel he can sing more than the other feel he can chant more than the other, or whatever it is. This is God. This is Ram Bhagwan. Ram Bhagwan worships Shivji, another form of the Lord. Can you imagine what will happen if we worship each other in this world? What will happen if we do that? I don't mean throw milk on your head. You understand? I don't mean take a lota, Missy. Oh, Divya, throw milk on your head. No. I don't mean that. Can you imagine what will happen if we all worship each other? What will happen? Vishnu? Me catch you. You distracted me just now. All right. What will happen if we worship each other? We will all become God. From a human being, we'll become a divine being if we all worship each other. Right? This is the message here today, is that although we all possess greatness, one Pandit can sing, one can chant, one can recite mantra, whatever it is, all of us possess greatness, and you should appreciate the greatness in each other. All of you sitting along here today, so many young people and so on, all of you possess some blessing, right? Some blessing. One of you know math, one of you don't even know what math is, one of you know what English is, one don't know what English is and no geography. All of you are special in every way. It does not mean one is higher than the other, one is whatever the case. Ramji Bhagwan set the standards here for all of us, that we are all special in some way. And he says, if you even think of showing enmity to Shivji, then don't even think about him. He will not appear in your life. Shankara Vimukata Bhagati Chahamori. He who is opposed to Shiva and is called my worshipper can never dream of attaining me. He who is opposed to Shivaji and yet aspires after faith in me is doomed to perdition and is dull-witted. Those who are devoted to Shankara Prima Madrohi, Shiva Drohi Mamadas. Same thing here. Those who are devoted to Shankara and are hostile to me. Those who are worshipping Shivji but don't like Ram Bhagwan, and those who are opposed to Shivji, same thing. They shall never have their abode in the deepest of Narak for many lifetimes. And then he says about Rameshwar, this lingam that I'm going to put up here now is called Rameshwar Lingam. It will be named after me, Rameshwar. I put life into it. Not any Pandit, not any Swami. I'm going to put life into it. And Jo Rameshwar Darsan Karahi Te Tanutaji Mamaloka Siddharahi. Those who make a pilgrimage to Rameshwar shall, on quitting the body, go direct to me. And he, Jo Ganga Jal Ani Charahi So Sajujya Mukti Narupai. And those who, of course, offer Ganga Jal and pours it on the Lord, they will attain liberation as well. Many of us may never go to Rameshwar. It's very far away and it's expensive. We may not even have the desire to go. But in your own home, I've told you many times, make an attempt to bring Rameshwar in your home. Let your Shiv Lingam reflect God. Chant a few mantras so that when you pray to it, at least Ram Bhagwan can be present there as well. From that day, my friends, the Lingam was named Rameshwar. Again, whoever waits on Rameshwar in a disinterested spirit, anyway, same thing I talk about. Those who visit Rameshwar Bhagwan they will always be blessed. Rameshwar today is a very, 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 very prestigious place to visit. It is in South India. It is a far way, and there's many things to do when you get there. I went there many times, and to see the lingam, to just have a darshan of the lingam takes a little bit, but it's very beautiful. There is a process to go there. When you go, you bathe in the Agni Tirtha, the big ocean, the same ocean where the bridge was built over. Then you come back and you take a dip in 21 wells. They take the water and they throw it on you, 21 wells. After that, you change your clothes, you let your clothes go, you give it in charity, and then you dress, and then you go see Rameshwar Bhagwan. It's a beautiful pilgrimage. It takes a lot of sacrifice, but we can only bring these beautiful memories to you to have you understand a little bit about it. Thank you all for being here this evening to join in the Katha of Rameshwar. And I hope and pray that in your own way, you can bring God to you. My message this evening as well, in addition to having respect for each other, is that don't forget that inside of you, there is a God. And that God is Atma Lingam, right? You have Rameshwar Lingam or Narmadeshwar Lingam, and you also have Atma Lingam, the lingam of your soul. Your very soul is a form of God. Atma Tvam. Tvam means you. You are Atma. Who's you? Shiva. Atma Tvam. All of us have a lingam in the form of a soul. Don't sell your soul. Don't compromise your soul. Don't sell your values or compromise your life for anything lower than the standards set aside in our dharma. In this way, you are worshiping Shiva as well. May God bless all of you, and may you continue to stay connected to our beautiful culture, our dharma, and may you always stay prayerful. Happy birthday again, Imani, and we wish you nothing but the best. As you know, we're always very happy to have you and all your sisters and your dad here as well at the temple. And this is home as long as you'd like to have it as a home. And we can only pray that all of you embrace our culture continuously. But happy birthday to you again, and sincerely pray that you may prosper always. Bole Shankar Bhagwan ki Jai. For those who have prasad to offer, please come up on the altar. Panditji will help you. Or if you just want to come up for darshan, just to see the Lord, put a flower, so please come up and do so now. Bhajanam Kirtanam.
नमामि शमीशान निर्वाण रूपं विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेदस्वरूपं निजं निर्गुणं निर्विकल्पं निरेहं चिदाकाशमाकाशवासं भजे शिवाकाश माकाश वासं भजेऽहं शिवाकाश माकाश वासं भजेऽहम् ॐ शिवाय हरि ॐ शिवाय 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 ॐ शिवाय 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 शिवाय हरि ॐ शिवाय ॐ शिवाय हरि 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 ॐ शिवाय 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 ॐ शिवाय 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 ॐ शिवाय 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 ॐ शिवाय 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 ॐ शिवाय 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 ॐ
A kind reminder, we have, please subscribe to our Mandir's YouTube channel and our Facebook page, our temple's Facebook page, Bhani Shankar Mandir. We are also on Instagram. And when you come in there, you'll see barcode. You can scan it if you want to get updates from the temple. We send an update to you in our community page. so that you can be informed of all that's happening. Our Bhagavad Katha is coming up. We are doing it outside, big tent, as of August 30th. So we hope you can join us every night. And we need volunteers. It's a lot of work. So tonight we're having a quick meeting to talk about the Bhagavad. If you would like to volunteer, volunteer in the sense of cleaning, sweeping, packing, fixing, transporting stuff over there, you can stay back and we'll have a quick discussion. There's room for everybody and lots of work to do. Before we do Aarti, I'd just like to wish my own daughter, Brenda, happy birthday, happy 20th birthday today. Let's give her a big hand. And I think the new people come are looking, so she's not on the stage. She just came, she has exams tomorrow and is studying, so she's in the office somewhere. She just came. But today, on August 20th, she turns 20th, which is pretty special. I think they have a Western name for that, but that's beside the point. Yeah, 20 years ago, I became dad for the first time. It's a pretty cool thing. And I want to wish her a happy birthday. And Brenda, for the regular people who come here, she's hard worker for the temple. Very, very committed, youth amidst us. And we're very happy for her progress. She's doing well in life, and whatever support she can get from the community, we're always here for her. So happy birthday to Vrinda, and wishing her all the best. God bless her. All right, you can stand for Aarti now, everybody. Om Yani Kani Ja Papani Janmantarkritani Ja Tani Sarvani Nashyantu Pradakshanam Bare Bare.
Om Jai Shiva Omkara Swami Hare Shiva Omkara Jai Shiva Omkara Swami Hare Shiva Omkara Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Hare Bhange Dhara Om Jai Shiva Omkara Om Hare 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 Mahadev Ekanan Chaturanan Panchanan Raje Swami Panchanan Raje Hansasan Garurasan Hansasan Garurasan Vishwahan Sajan Om Jai Shiva Omkara Om Hare 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 Mahadev शिव ओंकारा। ओम हर 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 महादेव। ओम हर 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 महादेव। ओम हर 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 महादेव।
प्रगौरां करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवां भवानी सहितं नमामि। त्वमेव माता स पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुः स सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणा त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वा मम देव देव। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयोथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये। श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्धसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते। शरणागतदीनार्थ परित्राणपरायणे सर्वसार्थिहरे देवी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते। बोलिए भवानी शंकर भगवान की, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की, लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की, सूर्यादि समस्त नवग्रह देवताओं की, पवन सुत हनुमान जी महाराज के, विघ्न विनायक गणेश जी महाराज के, लक्ष्मी मैया की, शरणेश्वरी माता दुर्गा की, सरस्वती मैया की, सत्यनारायण भगवान की, सूर्य नारायण भगवान की, नवदुर्गा भवानी की, गंगा मैया की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की, गौ माता की, संध्या सैन आरती की, सद्गुरुदेव भगवान की। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देव महेश्वर, गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनो हरि। बोलिए शंकर भगवान की। नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो।